welcome one and all to round number 1 here of Season 8. Racing is back after the off-season with the short series and pre-season. We're here at the Bahrain circuit. 5.412 kilometres will kick us off for, I believe, 16 or 15 races ahead of us over the coming weeks. And a very difficult circuit. We're seeing when we got on board with the RLH car, a new addition to some of the streams this year. I'm going to be heading down towards that really important braking zone at turn 1, where most of the overtaking is going to happen, end of that DRS straight, and where we've seen a lot of chaotic turn 1s in previous races, and coming now up through turn 3, and you get onto that straight on the run up towards turn 4. Another key important part of the lap, especially in terms of overtaking, just where you end the first section. Of course, we saw in real life the cars went off to the left there to complete the outer layout, if you like. But we now move into this middle section, almost completely different to the first one. Downforce, you need to have a stable car, and going down towards that turn 8 hairpin. We have seen a few moves there, of course. Unfortunately, Lance Stroll not really working out well for him in real life. Ended up sideways. Now, the turn 10 hairpin, one of the easiest points, probably on the whole game, to lock up. So we could see a few smoke clouds running into there later on this evening. Running out now, and onto the third DRS straight towards the turn 11. A few moves could be done here, and well, hopefully with no chaos. That's that previous turn 10, it should be all plain sailing into there. Now running up through turn 12, you get on that inside curb, you could spell you trouble in this race, and it's such an easy point to spin out. And we have seen, even in the short series a couple of weeks ago, that things can go a little bit wrong down there. And now the final corner, just setting yourself up for a good run onto that main straight, and then towards the line for the final point. Qualifying will be interesting. It is one of the races where strategy is a little bit more dependent. However, I will pass over to my colleague for this one, because I'm joined by the Season 6 C3 champion. Shabby is with us, racing in C1 this season.
Hello, hello.
Great to have you in the commentary box for the first time, I believe.
Well, thank you. So the champion of Season 6 and the champion of Season 7 are commentating today? Of C3?
Yeah, it's a little bit weird to have the two previous champions almost commentating on the series, but it should be a really good race there. I think we're set up for a great season of C3, which should be a really competitive field.
Yeah, exactly. 19 drivers today, so it's packed up for it.
Yeah, really good to see a few new faces and a few returning ones as well. The likes of Timmy and Fretty, both coming back to F1 after a bit of a break. Izzy was the first driver to look to do a lap, but he's come back into the pits.
We have Magic Popcorn in the first lap, on the medium car.
Yeah, interestingly, he's chosen the medium tyres straight out of the pit lane. I think, well, it's either sort of a one-stop or a two-stop, depending on how you want to play it. I mean, you probably don't want to be giving away any sort of tips for any of your rivals tomorrow, but what would you think would be the best strategy sort of in qualifying?
To be honest, the medium to hard is the best strategy in my opinion, but if there's a lot of people starting on softs, hard to get track position. So in my opinion, track position is key, so I would still go for the two-stop with the soft, the medium.
Yeah, I mean, it was a popular strategy in C3 last season, with myself and Atomic both going for it. And it gave us track position, it gave us the edge, I think, in the race as well. But Pipcannon going out early on the mediums and setting a decent first sector time. At the moment, he'll be the first car to set a lap in the session.
Oh, he's going right.
Keeps it away from that curve nicely. Going purple at the moment, but of course first car out on track. I'm not sure which Renault's behind him. Either Fretty or Nika.
That's Fretty.
Fretty's on a fine lap as well. Be interesting how Fretty gets on his return to F1. Of course, he was in the short series, of course, relatively recently, but first proper season back in F1 since you beat him in Season 6.
Oh, yeah.
But Magic Boot Cannon 27.3. Rated
Very
as
good
26.9.
starter.
Just us, 26.1, 8/10 clear of Fretty at the moment.
What's your wrap? Fast on a medium. That's a very good time in the medium tower.
I think the pole off the top of my head from last season, so 2 months ago now, or a month and a half ago, was a 25.3 by Ahmed in the McLaren. Of course, a few of the sort of C3, and some of them have gone up to C2, and I believe Lurch was actually the fastest qualifier that remained in C3. If your Kappa goes into P2 in the Ferrari. One of the many drivers that's joined C3 from some of the lower tiers and has really found a lot of improvements as of late, and that's why he deserves his promotion up to C3. And currently going well.
I saw Easy going wide in turn 10. He spun off.
Okay, in the Mercedes, yeah. Interestingly, Lurch just did a flying lap, slowed down really right at the end. So maybe wanted to save and put a banker lap in, go on the mediums a bit later on.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting at the end.
Box 300ths up on his time, currently in P7, reserving today in the Alfa Romeo. Him and Timmy are the sort of official reserves of C3. Soon to see how they get on this season, but Bog racing in C5 normally. What can he do on this lap into the pits? See how Health Gen Racing gets on in his first lap in the Haas. I believe completely new to the league as of this season, so see where he can put his first banker lap on the board. It's around the
Waza goes fastest on the medium. Very nice lap.
Yeah, both Wazza and Mikey moved up to C3, sort of the duo. They've been in C5 since the Asia Cup at the end of F1 2019. How's Phil getting on? Is there a bit of... He might be trying to get a toe off Lurch here.
I think he's too far away.
Looks like a little bit too far back, but...
Let's see if he slows down.
Even with a little bit of a slowdown just for the line, still manages P3. 26.5. Decent lap considering he did sort of slow down at the end a little bit.
Yeah, that should be first place, but it's probably going to go on the medium after this. Not sure. I have to see that.
Yeah, I think it's sort of all's going to be revealed towards the end of quali in terms of who's really doing what, but I would imagine that sort of the guys near the top are sort of committing to the soft tyres with that quick tyre. So Timmy's retired. He's retired on track.
Where is he?
Turn 11.
Turn 11,
Which Alpha Tower he's going towards him? Wazza. I think he's probably just clipped the curb a little bit and sort of got shot towards the right hand side. There is the Alfa Romeo.
Yeah, if you just hit it a tiny bit and you spun off, so you gotta be very careful.
It's so easy to do though, that's the thing. And yeah, just catching him out a little bit there. Does Maris Daniel want to push lap? No, his ERS is on 0. Maybe just in lap for him after going P3 with a 26.4. But the bottom sort of 7 drivers haven't set a time yet. They're all still in the pit lane, so I think everyone's just waiting for that end of qualifying. Maybe seeing what everyone else is going to do. There's Fretty back out on track. Starting his lap soon. I think Poop Cannon's just started a time on the softs. Very quick driver has progressed up a tier, or one tier every single season he's joined. Started in C5 in the Asia Cup and now up in C3 and was purple in the first sector. Almost 0.3 of a second up at the moment on his, well, was almost 3 seconds second up on his provisional time. Now towards that tricky turn 10. Gets the car started nicely, bit of a hit on the apex as well. Looks like it helped with the rotation a little bit. He's just going to be catching Nika towards the end of the lap, and if he gets close enough could benefit from a tow. But I think I was watching, I think it was Limitless the other day. Do you have to be within 6/10 to properly feel the tow? Something crazy like that.
Also, Freddy's on the lap and he's improving by 3/10, so. And he goes wide. There's a lot of time. Into turn 10.
Putin did this exact same into the into turn 13. He's just coming towards the line. It was up quite a bit, and he manages to put that racing point P2.
Very impressive.
See how Freddy's doing. He was about a 10th down on Putin in that first sector. See if he can get turn 13 a little bit more right. 10th up now.
And he validated.
Ooh. A little bit too tight on that inside curb.
That's unfortunate. Also, Bog is doing a good job. He's also 6/10 up.
Yeah, very good first sector from Bog. Even faster through the middle. It's coming up as purple for me. So, well, can he go sort of into that top group, a low 26? Towards the line, DRS open. 26.7, good time from Bog. P6.
Very nice, getting close in at the top 6, top 7.
Health Gen back out on the track, 28 flat in the first sector, so it's a pretty good time. You know, pretty close to what everyone else is doing. See how Nick is a little bit further up the road.
Lurch is going to start a new time on his mediums, so see what he can do.
Yeah, that time not really representative at the moment, and Nick is into the pits. Jordan just started on the mediums as well. Boss Pad on Stolt got support in the stream chat from Hans. So let's see what his middle sector looks like. Pretty good so far. I saw him in some of the pre-season racing. Definitely looked quite good. Let's see how he fares in a sort of a proper race tonight rather than pre-season. Just the final corner to go. Doing a lap on the mediums. It's going to be P10. Just in the top 10 for the time being.
Might as well just switch to the softs.
Oh, Lurch has gone deep at turn 10. And a new... well, he's just improved his pole position time. Justice has gone even quicker.
26.0.
When I first commented, I got confused with Justice a little bit. Of course, the C1 champion.
Both of them should be P1, I think.
Yeah, I'll mention how he gets on tomorrow defending his crown. But see, Lurch
I'll try my best, but I don't think I can make it happen.
Well, you never know.
And Hell Generalist can just spin up turn 11.
Oh yes. Luckily, with ghosting off, there's no troubles. Oh, and he spun again.
Overheating tires. So.
Yeah, and I think, well, one of the big talking points this season. Oh, please don't hit him. No, there's no ghosting anymore. I'm all for it. I think it'd be great. But of course, the drivers have got to adapt a little bit and be a bit more careful when approaching cars facing the wrong way. Izzy 4.5 tenths up in the first sector in his Mercedes. My Mercedes, well,
yeah.
Was in it last season. See if he can get near his new teammate Marius Daniel. Looks like Fretty is just about to start another flying lap as well, come around the final corner. It seems like everyone's switching to the softs now. I don't think anyone can just sort of be quite quick enough on those mediums. And yeah, Izzy 1.1 seconds up at the moment.
If he continues, it should be just next to Marius Daniel, his teammate. Let's see what we can do.
Yeah, it's a close group in that sort of mid to low 26s and towards the line. Oh, just behind.
There he
9.
is. But he put three laps on the soft, so they're
Yeah, I
gonna
just
go
spotted
very
that.
up too.
So he might, well, I assume if he might not be able to get another lap in, so that will be the race, his race starting tyre. If he stays in the top 10, which could hamper him because tyre wear is a bit of an issue around
Yeah.
here.
I don't think he will make it to make another lap on the soft, so maybe he can make it. Let's see.
Touch and go, but
Also, Freddy's on a lap. He's improving by 1/10. Now 2/10.
just got away with the his line through turn 13. He invalidated it on the previous attempt, and he was pushing the track limits. I would say I was on board him at the time. One more corner to go, and towards the line. P4. A lot of time in that final sector for Fretty. Kappa's a little bit up as well in that first sector. He's got Nick on a racing point in front of him. Gets on the power nice and early coming out of turn 11. Smooth through turn 12, and he's almost 2/10s up now. If he can find a little bit more time, I think it will be the front row, but can it be provisional pole? And well, Justice can't, well, unless he comes up the pits pretty quickly, I think that'll be no more laps for him in this session. Kappa towards the line. What is the time going to be for him? Pete Pole, 25.8.
He made a lot of time on the last sector. Maybe he made a mistake on the previous lap, but very impressive.
Really good exit, and despite the car, Nicker being sort of straight in front of him, just basically ignored it and gone on with it. Very good lap from him.
Also, there's just on a lap. End of sector 2 now.
3/10s up.
He's 3 times up, but in his previous lap, I think he let it go, so could probably make a lot of time in the end.
He did, and got a nice little bit of a toe there from Bretty. Oh! He's not going to be happy with that. I don't know what happened there. Looks like health gen, well. Because it looked like he got out of the way very nicely, but he just didn't stop.
Yeah, there were two cars on the right side, I don't know.
I thought he put it there to get out of the way, but
someone didn't pay attention again.
Well, Lurch, and well, he is kind of known for doing well at Bahrain and being the fastest qualifier out of everyone who remained in C3. I think he's going to be a little bit annoyed with that because he could have very easily gone into that top 5.
Marius then goes P4 at the same time as Magic Poop Cannon.
Oh wow, yes. Of course, Poop Cannon did his lap first, so he gets the position, but fine margins up in that top group, and Boss Pad and Stoll out on the softs for the first time in this session. We'll see if he can improve 3.5 up in the middle sector. Oh, sorry, in the first sector, not the middle sector. All looks like the Red Bull of Justus has just managed to get a lap in with sort of 15 seconds left in the session. So Kappa's pole not quite safe just yet.
Also, Phil is on a lap and he's 2 times down, but he let it go at the end, so should make a lot of time at the end.
Yeah, and I'm going with softs again. I think you might have just seen that the mediums aren't quite quick enough, and Boss Van and Stoll, well, 9/10 up now. Could even be challenging for pole if he can get this last sector hooked up, get a good exit. One more corner to go. Multi-Rab goes into P2. Great lap from Multi.
Very nice, very close. P1 and P2.
Boss Van and Stoll P4. And the Multi and Kappa, the two teammates in F2, both racing for Dams, and going very well at the moment in C3. But Justus a 10th down on his personal best. Don't know if he can find that little bit more time. Final corner, and the run towards the line. Who else is setting lap times? Jordan on a lap. Has improvement, but stays P3, goes into the 25s. Jordan comes across the line, but stays P13. And Wazza, the final car, he was a second up on his time. Wazza takes pole right to the death. Sort of out of nowhere.
Yeah, I didn't see that coming.
Chilling, well, down in sort of P13 most of the session on his medium run. Pulls out pole, then his C3 debut. I mean, what a time.
Very impressive. And there's a lot of people on the stuff now, so...
Magic Poopyan has put in the stream chat, like he's pretty much as shocked as we were when he crossed the line, but I think we're set for a great race for how close it is at the front. And I think a few guys, I think Lurch definitely has a lot more time in his lap from that little incident we saw late on.
Yeah, it might be going to the stewards, not sure.
Yeah, I think that one will be taken to the stewards. But we'll see how that one develops next week. But we will. I'll run through the grid as I normally do on the formation lap, and we'll be back very, very shortly after a short little break with Crofty.
It's race day and our drivers are all out on the grid performing their final checks before we get underway here at the Bahrain International Circuit. We'll be racing around 3.36 miles of the magnificent Bahrain International Circuit today. Keep an eye out for drivers locking the front left down into the tricky braking zone of turn 10.
Welcome back to Bahrain. Of course, there's no rain at all. It's completely dry race. I don't think I've ever seen rain in Bahrain. We could have had it actually. Was it the F2? There was like maybe a chance of some rain, like in real life this year. I think it might have been at not the Bahrain Grand Prix, but the Sakir Grand Prix. But, wow, it'd be interesting to see what the top people outside the top 10 decide to go for. Maybe I think I was talking to Nellboy a little bit earlier on, and he said he might look at going hards if he's outside that top 10, and he is. Oh, some guys are like starting a little bit early, but everything's okay. As Mikey already picks up a little bit of disqualification. But nevertheless, we've got Wazza on pole, followed by Kappa, Multi, Jesus, Oswald and Stoll, Magic Poop Cannon, Marius Daniel, Fretty, Phil, Izzy, Bogorovsky, Nellboy, Jordan, Nika, Cryptox, Lurch, Health Gem Racing, and Timmy. Let me look at the tyres. Another disqualification. So the top 10 all on softs, and then mediums for 11th down to 19, apart from Mikey, Cryptox, and Lurch, who are all on the hards. But in this one, well, it'd be interesting to see how the guys at the top 10 decide, you know, how their races go, because I have seen in Bahrain, the one stop is best, but a safety car can just completely ruin it for you if it comes to that awkward kind of time.
Also, a very interesting strategy is the soft to hard.
Yes, I personally did that one. I think it's best because it gives you that balance of track position, but also the one-stop strategy. But of course, you are running on some old softs, so that could hamper you. And then to the end of the race, if you've got people on fresh softs who are doing the two stops, they could catch you a little bit. But we'll just have to see how it pans out. I think it's going to be a good race, first race of the season for C3, and well, I mean, every time I've been in C3 since sort of midway through season 6, it's always been entertaining. A lot of good racing, but sometimes the odd questionable moment. I think you can say. But C3, I think it's changed, but it's still the same. I mean, we were teammates back in season 6 when I joined for the end.
Yeah, I can remember that.
My first race in Spa, I remember I didn't overtake anyone, but I managed to get second.
I can remember that one, yeah.
Anyway, waiting for the lights. Looks like Timmy just slotting into his grid position. And we'll get going for the first time in Season 8 in the C3. And the lights are here now. We have 2, 3, 4 and 5 red lights here in Bahrain. And it's lights out and away we go. What's happened to Mikey though? Oh, Wazza, sorry, he's not got the best of starts. He's been swamped already off the line and dropping all the way down to what might even be sort of outside the top 10 here. At the front though, Kappa looking to take the lead into turn 1 ahead of Just Who's, then Multi-Rab. And the Ferrari Boss Planet still going a little bit wide. Fretty stays P5, but further back. Everyone trying to negotiate their way through the first couple of corners. And it's the Alfa Romeo Bogorovsky at the back of the grid, but Kappa leads the way into turn number 1. Fretty down the inside of Bosspad and Stoll gets ahead. Izzy and Nelboy swapping positions too. And what happened to Wazza? He's now down in P12. Magic Poop Cannon trying to go around the outside of Bosspad and Stoll. No way through there. And now on the outside as they run up the hill. Trying to go around the outside. Can he make it work? Down at turn 10. Not quite. Good defence from the Ferrari. And he's opening a couple of corners after getting overtaken by Fretty down at turn 4.
There was a little incident with Bogorovsky and Crypto at turn 1. I'm not sure what happened there, but Bogorovsky in the last place is trying to like.
Oh, Poop Cannon's lost the car! Poop Cannon's lost the car on turn 11. He didn't clip the curb, he just lost the rear. Oh, and now contact with Phil. I think Phil's completely not at fault there, just trying to avoid it all. And Poop Cannon spun round there. He just about avoids some other cars.
And Bosspad has a lot of wing damage to have hit.
Yeah, I think both him and Poop Cannon will be into the pits. Now Wazza trying to make up for lost ground a little bit. Going ahead of Nelboy, slots ahead on the run down towards turn 1. Maybe having a look down the inside of Jordan. He's gone for it late on the brakes. Jordan, to be fair to him, gives in the room, but it's good defence from the Racing Point. And he holds on for the time being. We have another go. It's turn 4. He's going to send it late on the brakes. And the AlphaTauri making up for lost ground a little bit here in the opening couple of laps. Bosspad and Stoll's gone on to the hards, trying to go long in this race.
Also, Fretty's doing a good job. He's 4 places up. And Helgen Racing going wide to turn 8.
Yellow flags are 4. Is that Timmy? Maybe. It didn't come off best for him there. My timing screen is having a few problems, but it should sort itself out in a little bit. As Wazza picks up 3 seconds of time penalty. Izzy goes defensive on the run down towards the final corner. But Wazza is passed as Kappa sets the fastest lap of the race as we start lap number 3.
Kappa's just trying to get out of the DRS zone of Justices.
Yeah,
Just
it's very
by 1
close. He's managed to do it.
They're about the same of ERS.
And that 1 second is really important here because 3 DRS zones, with 2 of them being quite significant. If you can get out of that DRS zone, it can really help you just to get ahead down the road. But saying that, he's back in DRS straight away. It was on that fine margin. Now 8 tenths. Niku goes down the inside of Helfgen. Helfgen had a bit of a lock up. Niku up in 15th. And Kappa's he's not unfamiliar to the top step of the podium. Was there a few times, I believe 2 last season in C5. As Helfgen goes a little bit deep on the brakes at turn 10, but just about gets away with it. Top 3 all within a second of each other. Fretty just a little bit far, a little bit behind that, but not too much, and starting to build a little bit of a gap to Marius Daniel and Phil behind them. As Smolsey sets the fastest lap of the race.
Brett is pushing very hard to just get into the DRS zone, or else he will lose a lot of time. Maybe he can try like an undercut or something.
Yeah, I think strategy could swing this one. I think avoiding an early safety car, or a lap 1 safety car, sort of means we follow a bit more of the normal strategy, if you like. So see how things work out. When the pit stop windows open, who's made the most positions on that opening lap? Well, open couple of laps, we've got Lurch up 5, so despite that sort of unfortunate qualifying, he's making up places. Fretty and Shed up 4. Marius Daniel and Phil 2 and 3. And Justice actually hitting the Red Bull in 2nd place up 2 as well. I've got to say, despite Waz's, I don't know what happened at the start, he just went absolutely nowhere. But he's managed to make up quite a few positions. He's putting on a bit of a charge now in P7. Jordan close to Izzy. As they run towards the final corner. Izzy goes defensive. John on the medium tyres, and I think, was it Izzy that did sort of quite a few laps on his softs?
Yeah, it was him.
I think maybe he's starting to struggle now. As a bit of an easy move. Yellow flag as Health Gen has spun out of turn 13.
Also, Jordan's going past Nilboy on the mediums.
Yeah, Nelboy. Can Nelboy get ahead? Not quite. Bit of contact on the exit of turn 2 and 3. But I think with a bit of DRS assistant, Nelboy will be ahead, and on those medium tyres, he can push on with Jordan.
The back going wide.
That top 3 started to build a bit of a gap to Fretty now, who is starting to come under a little bit of fire from Marius Daniel behind him.
Yeah, also Marius Daniel has a lot of more ERS than Fretty. To 100% almost.
Yeah, I'm just going to quickly check because I think I'm certain. I think Marius Daniel, I think he won it. Like Marius Daniel came 2nd in Bahrain in the Romanian league last season. He definitely has good form at this track. So definitely no slouch behind Fretty. Who was racing that number 52, and Izzy is into the pit lane. On those old soft tyres he was running. I think he'll come out just ahead of.
Oh, for the hearts.
I mean, well, maybe going to the end then. Is the plan for him.
It's gonna be a long stint, but safety car will screw him over.
Yeah, I think a late safety car would definitely benefit the likes of him. But Nick has gone onto the mediums, so definite 2-stop, I think, from that Renault.
Marius Daniel just arrived by Fretty. There's a lot of more ERS than him.
Yeah, he's getting close now, and maybe just sort of trying to save that ERS and almost make Fretty do all the work. They have built a bit of a gap to fill now. That 2.6 between the Mercedes and the McLaren. As they come out of turn 13. Looking for maybe for a move down the inside, but thinking better of it. We could see a move for P4 now. Down towards turn 1. Fretty into the pits. So is Justus in the Red Bull. And Jordan going down the inside of Wazza on the run down towards turn 1. So I think the medium tyre guys are definitely starting to take over in terms of race pace.
Both of them going for a 2-stop at the medium tyre. Very interesting.
Yeah, interesting. Yeah, maybe they're thinking it's a little bit too early to commit to the hards to the end, or hoping for a bit of a safety car later on. We've got actually a freeway battle shaping up at the moment. Izzy ducks to the inside. This could be a double move from the Mercedes driver. He's got ahead of Timmy, got ahead of Health Gen, and a good move from Izzy on his as he starts his first flying lap on those hard tyres. Flick to the inside, almost Mazepin style. It must be said, and now up into P15, and he can just put the work in on those hards and just try and use the free air to his advantage.
Also keep in mind Freddie on the right behind Borowski. He's trying for a little undercut, I guess.
Yeah, I think it'll be interesting. It looks like, can't tell if Kappa is coming into the pit lane. Oh, and he picks up 5 seconds for speeding. Multi-Rab stays out. But that could be really costly for Kappa. 5 seconds either at the end, or if we have a safety car, he's going to be held up a little bit longer than he would want to be. Fill into the pits as well for hards. And where's Fretty going to come out in all of this? Just getting ahead of Bogorov's going to run on towards turn 1. Ahead of Phil. And I think he's closed the gap a little bit to Kappa, who is behind Justice, but Kappa on those hards, importantly.
Or he also has a 5-second penalty, so he will compromise a bit.
He could do. I think I am most interested to see what Multi decides to go for. Because I'd almost like... I partly think that maybe a lot of the guys who were in C3 last year are going for that one stop to the hards, because, well, that's basically the strategy that won. I was with Amid for most of the race, and I beat him by about 12 seconds in the end, just because of that differing strategy.
Yeah, strategy is very important around this track. See what he's gonna do.
Multi, I think he's going to come in this lap, stays out another lap.
Marius as well.
Yeah, I think most of us in C3 pitted last season either lap 9 or 10. Cryptox very close to the back of Poop Cannon.
Yeah, Pukan's showing a lot of these soft tires.
We had that little incident earlier on, so he's missing a little bit of front wing. Oh, and Helpgen's out.
Is there a safety car?
Turn 11. We do have
That's
a safety car. Poop Cannon, I mean, he timed that to absolute perfection. His defence there, he kept it round the outside. Brilliant defence from the Racing Point. But this surely hands the advantage to Multi-Rab Marius Daniel.
Definitely. Also an elbow, so everyone that stayed out has a lot of good potential in getting a podium or winning this race.
Yes, it'll be interesting to see what, I don't know, maybe the likes of people who are on, so like maybe Bosspad and Stoll, will he maybe consider coming in? I'd probably stay out. Oh, there's a Renault. Oh no, there's a bit of a glitch on my... Oh no, the safety car. I always look at the mini-map and think it's a Renault sat somewhere, but it's the safety car just sat on the second straight. But you would have thought at this point it's going to be hards for Multi. And I would imagine Lurch will take the lead of this race now.
It's a very... don't know what decision Lurch is going to take. Because he has to pit, if I'm correct?
Yes, still has to pit. But just whether he decides to go with track position and trying to keep it on a one stop, or he maybe commits to a pits now and has to pit again later on. But Multi looks, like I said, a hards. And yeah, same for Marius Daniel.
This is staying out. He might get P1, let's see. Very close.
Yeah, he does have P1, however, Multi slots into a very nice P2. So he's got the jump on Kappa there. But of course, Justus still has to pit again. Can't go to the end of this one. Lurch onto a set of mediums. Jordan and Nelboy onto the hards. I think everyone's either switching to a set of mediums or a set of hards. With Timmy the only driver on the softs, but he pitted before the safety car came out. So looking at it sort of plainly, I think we were looking at just who's pitting again. Well, basically everyone who's not on the hards. I mean, how long can the mediums go?
I would say around 15 laps, perhaps 16.
I think it would be a big arse to take the medium tyres to the end of the race from here.
I mean, it is possible, so...
I guess, yeah, definitely possible, but those last couple of laps, if you don't get a puncture, you're going to be struggling so much. Even with that little performance boost over the hard tyres over the first sort of 10 laps.
Also, Jordan and Nelboy are doing a very good job. They're in a good position. Made a lot of positions.
Yeah, they just had. I mean, remember they both just sort of had quiet starts to the races. Got on with things on the medium tyres and have taken full advantage of that safety car. It sort of came at the perfect time for sort of those guys. But I think Fretty, well, 2-lap old mediums. He sort of stayed where he was roughly. Lost the position to Marius Daniel.
He should be quicker on the first few laps.
Yeah, I think he will be. The problem he's got though is the likes of, well, Bogorovsky down in P16 theoretically is going to the end, so he might have to do a bit of overtaking late on if he pits again. We'll have to see how that pans out. I do feel sorry for Wazza though. I don't know what happened at the start. If I remember correctly, I think it was Japan, the end of Asia Cup C5. I think he got pole, or he was near the front in qualifying, and his wheel disconnected or something. Literally just as we went to start, so he went nowhere, and there was an almighty crash that took him out. I don't know if it was...
happened here in the formation lab.
Maybe.
Is it a production problem or something?
Yeah, at least he got away and there was no major incident. I don't think there was any damage from anyone hitting him. Everyone did quite well to avoid him. But it definitely cost him. I wonder if we'll see the two McLarens swap around. They always joke about sort of team orders and who's the number one driver, and I know that's definitely last season there were a few jokes about effectively the driver on the faster tyres not being let through. So I wonder if Lurch will get seen through to make progress on those mediums.
Yeah, it should be way faster than Phil the first few laps.
I think we could get going this lap. I think one thing definitely to note is the guys on the hard tyres will definitely have a much harder time of warming up their tyres as a safety car is in.
But yeah, but throughout the race they will have a big advantage. So
we'll see just who's leading the way. He becomes the effective safety car. We've got 18 more laps left to go in this one. When's he going to decide to put the throttle down? And he's off. It's like a good start for Kappa. Right on the back of Multi. Off of the final corner. The front five seem to have gotten away much better. Jordan creating a little bit gap further behind. As Phil and Lurch do seem to swap. Down the inside goes the Ferrari on Multi. Still wheel to wheel through turn 2. Multi just backs out though, and well, good racing between the pair of them though, but man, Multi under threat from Marius Daniel. And Fretty maybe looking to go up the inside as well, a little bit further. Fretty going wheel to wheel with Marius. Oh, and Marius losing the car, hits him but loses the position in the end. And Wazza and, I don't know what Wazza and Lurch are doing, wheel banging. Through, Phil goes around the outside. This could be a great move from Phil. What a move from Phil to pounce on the opportunity. The Red Bull coming through of Cryptox to get ahead of well. Oh, nice spun.
Oh, there's a lot of people hitting each other. There's 2 or 3 people in wing damage. I think that's easy.
Bog in that doesn't seem to have any damage. I think a bit of contact from him. Cryptox goes down the inside of Phil. Phil squeeze him on the inside. Good hard racing, but looks like the Red Bull's got a much better exit. It's going to go around the outside of turn 11. Oh, and Lurch has slowed up massively. Don't know what happened there to Lurch. Jordan's all over the back of Maris Daniel. Bog obviously gets past the wing damaged. Izzy. Jordan having a look on the inside, just about avoids a spin. Now he's going to be in the situation. Yeah, Cryptox and the McLarens have been going at it this whole lap since we got going again. As Lurch into the pits. Maybe wing damage. Maris Daniel still just about keeping ahead of Jordan. Still ahead of Jordan. I wonder why Lurch pitted. Maybe just wing damage.
Yeah, I think he had the wing damage.
Izzy into the pits as well. But so far, I mean, even with Kappa overtaking Multi, with both of them going to the end, Multi's got 2 lap fresher tyres. If Multi can just sit in that DRS, he could be in a great place to win this race. Of course, with Kappa's time penalty.
Yeah, Multi-Rab is the big winner of everyone.
And it will be. I think he's yet to score a podium in sort of RLH. I think off the top of my head. So I mean, what a way to kick this season off with a win. But Jordan getting ahead of Maris Daniel. Finally on this restart, going down the inside at the final corner. But once again, Maris Daniel doing a great job, and he fights it back around the outside.
Also, Nelbo behind trying to gain an advantage.
Yeah, the problem with Jordan getting ahead of that final corner. Maris Daniel in the slipstream straight away. They're wheel to wheel. Nelbo, I think, just hanging back. Mercedes goes down the inside of the racing point. The other racing point's got ahead of Mikey.
Maris lost it.
Bit of a spin. You got to be careful there not to shoot back onto the pit straight. And he gets 10 seconds. I thought he might do as he clatters the DRS board. Rejoins in P13. Wazza and Nika swapping places as well for P15.
Also, Freddy right behind Multi-Rab.
I wonder if I did see that Phil was not accepting guests. The McLaren drivers wanted taking it a bit more seriously this season. So I don't know if Multi's in the group, or I think Fretty might be, but I don't know if Multi can communicate with Fretty during the race. I know they've been good friends on Among Us recently. But you would have thought Fretty would be pitting again, but you never know, he might not do. So Multi probably will want to try and keep him behind, so he can keep with Kappa. Definitely got more ERS than the Ferrari. As Jordan breaks the toe quite aggressively, because Nelboy gets ahead of him round the outside into turn 1. And it could be the final battle for the podium, this one, if the 2 guys in front on the mediums pit, Nelboy and Jordan.
Yeah, they're both very low in areas, so it's going to be hard for them to overtake.
Yeah. Freddy getting very close. Lurch gets the fastest lap on a new set of softs. I've got a freeway battle for P2. Magic Poop Cannon very close to Phil. Phil going defensive into turn 10. You can get the better of the exits. Looks like medium tyres of Poop Cannon just give him much better traction. And he's ahead of Phil, well, very quickly on that straight. As Timmy gets ahead of Wazza. at turn 10. And Nick has got ahead of Wazza as well now for P14 at turn 11. Maltese very close to the back of Kappa now. Will he think about a move into turn 1? He's got overtake enabled. Looks to the ins. Oh, bit of a duck. Oh,
no.
Please. Oh, he's just. I don't know if he's got damage. He's got massive damage. Oh, Multi. He was in such a good place to win this race.
It's very, very unfortunate for him.
Kappa did a sort of a Mazepin-esque covers the inside, absolutely fine. Wasn't wheel to wheel. I think maybe it just caught Multi out a little bit there. Mikey on the inside of Phil. They're still wheel to wheel. Looks like Phil's gonna get the better exit. Mikey's on the inside though. They're still wheel to wheel.
It's very nice racing.
Can Phil go around the outside, get a better exit? Mikey's going to sort of push him out of room there.
Phil still trying to get the advantage. No, right outside, turn time.
Phil on the inside has the high ground and keeps hold of P10. It's really gutting for Multi. He's done everything right in this race. And that little mistake's cost him. He's going to have to pit now, and you'd think now medium tyres to the end, he'd sort of be praying for a safety car or something like that at this point. But that sort of saves Kappa a little bit there. Not under as much pressure with that 5-second penalty.
I wonder what the medium guys are going to do.
Yeah, I'm wondering if we'll see one of them take a risk and you know, go for the pit stop, or not pit. So I've got one eye on Nellboy in this race because he actually made the little graphics, the little graphic in the top right of the screen on the stream, and also he made the really nice RLH livery car and did all the laps for me to make the stream look a little bit fancier. So hope he has a good race around Bahrain himself. And currently in a very good position, Nellboy, and I think if both medium runners came into the pit lane and the race finished now, Nellboy would actually be winning. It's very close between Nellboy and Kappa to be 5 seconds.
Yeah, also just trying to build a gap, pushing very hard.
Yeah, he's got it up to 4 seconds at the moment, almost 4 seconds. But you never know, we could have one more twist in this race. Safety car at some point. Good to only have one driver retire so far.
Yeah, even the virtual safety car can spice things up.
Yeah, someone go for that. Well, if a virtual safety car comes out and, you know, just as Fretty decide to pit, obviously there'll be less loss. And they could be, you know, they could come on a real charge in the last couple of laps on a set of fresh softs or mediums.
Yeah, everything can happen in this race.
It's definitely finally in the balance. I think it'll be, even if there is no safety car, virtual safety car, I still think it could be a very interesting end to the race with people maybe pitting, tyres maybe going off in the last couple of laps.
Still 11 laps to go, so
Yeah, a lot can happen. There's Cryptox right on the back of Jordan. I don't think he'll be getting past into turn 11. We're getting very close to the back of the racing point. Wazza's also very close to Bogorovsky. The battle for P11, best of the rest outside the points. And Fretty is coming into the pit lane, and so is Justus. Both of them into the pits for mediums, and I think Timmy's had a bit of a spin. Avoided wing damage, but losing a bit of time. Into the wall, multi-rabs, got ahead. Oh, not quite. Trying to go around the outside at turn 11. Where are the Red Bull and the Renault going to come out? Just do some P9, just ahead of Bog. And Fretty behind his teammate in P13.
Was I just trying to overtake Bogorowski in Tinter 4? Just about. Let's move down.
Oh, Timmy's retired at turn
You're
11.
Yeah.
Or turn 12. That deadly curb. Virtual safety car. Oh, if that happened about 30 seconds earlier, Fretty and Justice would have benefited massively.
Yeah, it's very unfortunate for them.
No one's really in a position to take advantage of this. Everyone's between turn 4s and turn 4 and turn 13. But well, I think just looking on the mini map, the Ferrari of the Red Bull of Justus. Well, he's that sort of that penultimate straight behind Nellboy and a little bit further behind Kappa. What can he do in these last 9 laps? As we're green and racing once again, no one getting penalties, which is good. And
Nick is trying to get a move on Bogorowski going to turn 1.
Yeah,
Yours
he
open.
flicks to the inside. Gets the move done. Just about. And he can now try and catch Waza. Because Fretty's coming now on this fresh set of mediums. Gonna put on a bit of a charge. See how far he can get into the points. Oh, Fretty sends
Fretty.
one.
Yeah.
I think that I've got a feeling there might have been a bit of communication for that move.
Yeah,
I feel like Bog knew he was going down the inside, rather than Fretty just sort of sending it.
Fretty's got 9 laps to try and make some position up.
Yeah, and I can keep an eye on how well Justus can sort of close in on Bospad and Stoll. You'd think quite a bit. I mean, the Ferrari came onto those hard tyres in sort of the early laps.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep an eye on the Delta right now.
Yeah, it's come down quite a bit just in the last since I brought it up. It's almost come down by a second. He's into the pits. That's why it's come down quite a bit. Onto a set of mediums.
Fretty going past Nika. Probably some team orders for there.
Yeah, I would imagine Nick is in the same call, and well, I mean, he probably knows, 12 or 11 lap old hards versus 1 lap mediums. There's no point holding Fretty up. Let him get down the road and try and fight for some points. Well, the two leaders separated by 3/10 at the moment, if you take into account Kappa's penalty. Could the 2 lap fresher tyres for Nellboy, make a difference to the end? It could do. I think over the last few laps we'll have to sort of see how that delta is looking, because it's fluctuating quite a bit. Where are the other battles forming on track? I think we're just waiting, almost just waiting for Justus and Fretty just to close in a little bit more on the guys they're racing. But I mean, well, the Red Bull just goes purple in the middle sector.
Yeah, also Fretty just right behind Waza, staying closer. I want to make a run into Tension 1.
Yeah, Cryptox not too far behind Jordan at the moment. I think Fretty could be shaping up a move on Waza. close enough as they get towards turn 1. Fretti going to go down the inside. Yes, he is. Wazza gives him the room on the inside just about. It's a good defence from the Alpha Tower, but Fretti's coming back at him. He's lurching into the pit lane off those softs, and Fretti, I think, will have the position down at turn 4. Yeah, it's much better grip on the inside and gets a better exit. Do you think it's very, you know, I'm looking at Cryptox, Magic and Mikey in 4th, 5th and 6th. Is going to the end for them, is it going to be difficult? I think by the time they get to the end it'll be sort of 18 laps.
Yeah, they'll struggle a lot at the end. Maybe Phil can take advantage of that. Like, this is the switch over where the hards could be way faster than the mediums.
Yeah, I wonder if over the next couple, we'll see now if they maybe decide to come in to take full advantage of a set of softs. Because if you're going to put them on, you want to try and make best use of them. Definitely have a few laps out there. We'll have to see. You got Cryptox just sitting behind Jordan. It's sort of pulling him along quite nicely. The gap between Justus and Phil now less than a second. Boss Banastos is the fast lap of the race. Currently in P13. I think if Phil can maybe. I think he probably knows that the Red Bull's going to get past him. You can maybe let him past at a good opportunity. He might be able to nick a bit of DRS or something like that, but I'll just try and stay with him as long as he can. Be a big ask.
Yeah, I can see Phil even closing on the guys on the medium 7th and his lap.
Yeah, actually looking at the gap at the front, Cap has managed to get it to 6 dead now. So giving yourself a bit of breathing room maybe just in case of a tyre drop off later on. Yeah, as you said, Phil pushing, he's setting personal bests at the moment, starting to use some of the overtake he saved up. Definitely starting to reel in Mikey. And Cryptox is into the pit lane. Putting on a set of softs for the end of the race. Doesn't quite think he can, as Justus going down the inside of Phil. Bit of a lock up, but he seems to be ahead. Can Phil get a better exit? Of course, Phil now gets DRS.
Phil has way more ERS, so he should get done in turn 1. Let's see.
Can he get a switch back? He's going to try it, the Red Bull driver. Phil's just going to be ahead. Good defence from Phil there. Smart play and used DRS out of turn 4. Oh, actually, thank you for Calais for reminding me. It was the Australia pre-season race that Justus and Phil crashed. Well, I believe Justus crashed Phil out and took away a win from Phil. So hopefully it can be clean this time around. But of course it's not pre-season anymore, as Justus sends one. Had a look at the inside, put his nose in at turn 11. He got a much better exit on those fresher tyres. Trying to go around the outside of Phil, bit of contact. You can see how much time the Red Bull lost. He's 1.8 down in his personal best. Multi gets ahead of Bog. And Phil, well, he's I feel like the Red Bull's going to be a little bit annoyed behind him. Can't really take advantage of the fresh tyres he's got.
Yeah, Phil's not even using ERS now, so he knows has to let him go.
Unless Phil knows he's got the upper hand into turn 4, like he did on the last lap. A bit wayward on the exit on those old hards. Now let's see what Justus can do. Can he? How far can he get in this one? Can he maybe snatch a podium? I think it would be a big ask. We never know.
can see the two medium runners that stayed out are struggling a lot.
Yeah, I'm on board with Poop Cannon. You just see he's got to be so careful on the exit of turn 10. I'm just going through it generally.
Also, Crystal right behind Nika on the first left.
Yep. Goes around the outside at turn 11. Let's say with that helping hand of DRS, he's 4/10s up on his personal best at the moment. I can't quite remember. I think it's is it Boss Paddon Stole currently has the fastest lap. So won't quite get the extra point, but if Cryptox can get it over the next few, he'll get an extra bonus point for the fastest lap. Doesn't quite set it there. Of course, was behind Nico in that middle sector. So the two Red Bulls trying to charge for as Izzy as he gets past Bog, because he's into the pit lane. The two Mercedes now in 14th and 15th.
I reckon Kappa will struggle a lot on the last 2 or 3 laps. He has some older tires than Hellboy. Maybe he can close up the gap.
Yeah, he's driven really well, Kappa, and I think that gap between Nailboy it drops a little bit, but then he gets it back up again, and it's now at the biggest it's been. Of course, if you've joined us recently, I'll get the penalties up. He does have 5 seconds worth of penalties, so needs to make sure he finishes at least 5 seconds ahead of Nailboy to secure the win.
Also, Ketchup right behind was trying to get him to move to turn 12.
He's sort of catching other cars at the wrong moment for his fastest lap, and he wants to try and get through as quick as he can. Just like Justus, it's going to get ahead of Mikey down towards turn 1 as well. Up into P5 now for the Red Bull. And and it looks like Cryptox has got past Wazza on down to turn 1 as well. Nozrab picks up 3 seconds.
Also, Marsden trying to move in Izzle, his teammate. The German.
Down the inside, is he going to try and hang it around the outside? But Marsden gets ahead. Time being Phil now. I think Phil now definitely got the advantage. See how close he is to Mikey now. And the gap at the top is now effectively less than a second.
If he just got the DRS.
Poop Cannon almost loses the car. On those old tyres, he almost lost it through turn, awkward turn 11. Did well to hold it, and he loses the position to Justus, but I think it's a case of just get to the end for Magic and Mikey on those mediums.
Phil right behind them.
Phil. Problem for Phil now. Mikey has got DRS at the moment. And Magic will now as well.
Phil's got 2 laps to make it happen.
Nailboy's now got the gap down to 3/10. I think Kappa's tyres have started to fall off the cliff quite a bit.
If I'm correct, there should be around 60 to 65% right now for Kappa.
Nailboy already has 1 win to his name, so it's not unfamiliar territory. The first win in C3. I think we are going to have a new C3 winner on our hands with, well, out of the top 6, Jordan's the only one who's not new to C3. He raced in C3 in Season 6.
Gap is very close.
Oh, it's now
Second
dipped under. It's going to be close. 1 lap left to go, and the race lead is finally hanging in the balance. Phil still stuck behind the 2 guys in older mediums, and Mikey's got a poor exit. And Poop Cannon, I think, just trying to break the toes, ended up giving Phil the toe. And Phil is ahead into the final corner of Mikey. Phil could be looking to try and grab P5 on this final lap.
Getting very close to first place and second place.
Oh, I don't know. It's less than a tenth, basically, that separates them. I'm not sure. I'm sure Nailboy knows he's got to try and get within that second. He's got a buffer of 2/10. It's going to be really close.
Both of them have the same amount of euros.
As Bossman and Stoll gets past Wazza for the final points paying position.
Gets down to 4.6.
I think Kappa's tyres have gone. They've got to be sort of tipping into maybe that sort of high 60 to 70 region. Nailboy probably in sort of the mid to low 60s. And yeah, that gap, I think Nailboy could be the race winner here, his second race win, if he gets it.
Let's see if Phil can make a move on Magical Piano. Turn 11.
He's not quite going to get close enough, is he? He could line one up for that final corner. It's going to be close between these 2.
Maybe switch back.
Oh, Boot Cannon just so twitchy through that turn 11. Kappa though,
Away with the exit.
Kappa will cross the line to take the win on track, but it will be Nailboy, because of time penalties, who takes the first win here in C3 this season. Great drive from both of them. Jordan will take P2. Phil, they're going down the inside on the final corner. Bit of contact. Phil, can he keep ahead of Mikey? Not quite. He's going to be close.
Side by side, side by side.
It's going to be so close.
Oh, Mikey just get it.
Mikey just gets it. I don't know what the time was, but Fretty takes P8. Cryptox is in 9th. Boss Pad and Stoll takes the final point in P10, and then it's Wazza. Nika finished ahead of Wazza. Oh, and there's a Mike Multirab crashes across the line quite spectacularly. Then Maris Daniel is Izzy, Lurch, and Bogger obviously ran at the order. But great, I mean, the top 3, great drive. Read the safety car really well, and I think just picked the right strategy at the end of it.
I was very close into Phil and Mikey as well. Yeah.
I can't quite see what the delta between them was. I've got 2 red arrows on their interval. It's going to be thousands, I'm sure.
I think it was 15th, I'm not sure.
But great drive, and now we're deservedly picking up driver of the day. Him and Jordan both started, I think outside the top 10, if I remember correctly. And spraying the champagne, taking 25 points in this first race for his second win ever at RLH. And a very good drive, but Jordan in P13, and the gap was 1,000 between Mikey and Phil. Crazy. But Nailboy in first, Kappa second, Jordan third, Justice fourth, Poop Cannon in fifth, Mikey sixth, Phil 7th, 8th is Fretty, 9th is Cryptox, and the final points going to Boss Man and Stoll in P10. But I mean, what a way to kick off the season here in Bahrain. Thank you very much for joining me, Shabby. It's been great to have you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Thank you for having me.
And well, I wish you all the best tomorrow in C1. I'll be watching to see how you get on. It's going to be very competitive. How are you feeling about this season?
Yeah, it's gonna be close at the top, but it's gonna be hard to take out Justices, to be honest.
Well, I'm sure if you carry on with your progression, you'll be in C0 next season. But yes, thank you everyone for joining. We'll see you all tomorrow night.